If your fragrance game is stalled, it's time to pop the clutch. Hey fragrance family, I'm Dave and I'm a fragrance bro. Of course, your best source for everything fragrance related. Today I have a video that is a review on this guy right here, Clutch by Perfumology. Now, of course, if you like this type of content, don't forget to subscribe down below and click that little bell so you get a notification every time I make an upload. So before we start, just want to mention that Clutch was sent to me for review by Perfumology, but of course I'm going to keep it 100% honest like I always do. Perfumology is a fragrance store in Pennsylvania. Near Guy, who is the owner of Perfumology, is a real gem. He is a real gift to the community. He has a real passion for fragrances. He loves what he does, and he's got a great store. Though I've never been there personally, I feel like I have. Just from talking to him, seeing some of his videos that he has on YouTube, and a lot of his other pictures of the store. A couple of years ago, they started their own fragrance line, and the first one being Bliss, which is a love letter to his wife, and is a very floral scent, and it is a gorgeous floral scent. It's amazing. Then he had Grange, which is a very interesting fresh scent. His most recent one, which came out in late 2018, is Clutch. If I'm correct, I believe that he designs all his fragrances, or if he doesn't, he has a very strong hand in the design of his fragrances. What I really like about them is that all three of them so far have been kind of out of left field. They're not like your typical standard releases that a fragrance house kind of has to do. They all seem kind of experimental, and that's what I really love about this whole line. He designed Clutch to be kind of a representation of a drive on a really nice, crisp day. Of course, I love that. I bet there's probably many of you who love that as well, unless you live in the desert, which that sucks. So because of that, I think that he designed this to be kind of spring-ish, or maybe fall-ish. And I think that it works well in both those seasons, especially. I have worn this in the colder weather, and I think it does work well there too because of the denser notes in here. So speaking of notes, let's go over the notes real quick. So the notes are elemi, smoke, ginger, oak, red cedar, leather, vanilla, and musk. Now right away, that's a very interesting note list. It is kind of woody, kind of spicy, kind of leathery. And you get all of those in their own ways. Though it doesn't quite land on any one of those things. It kind of shifts, no pun intended, but it really works. It kind of shifts between different accords here. So it shifts between a woody accord. I get a lot of cedar and a lot of oak. It shifts between kind of a resinous thing where I get more of an ambery thing from the elemi. It shifts between kind of the sweeter thing with the vanilla and even the musk some. And it shifts again to the leather side. And I get kind of a leathery thing going on. I think though the two stars of this are the ginger and the cedar because I get those predominantly in the mix. Now it might just be my skin where it kind of just shines those notes especially, but to me I get this very spicy cedar type of fragrance with a little bit of amber in there and a little bit of leather in there. The type of cedar that's in here is really rich and warm, and it's not a cedar that I smell a lot in fragrances. I don't get a lot of kind of that redolent type of cedar. Most of the cedars out there are kind of stripped down, but this is very full, very natural in the way that it's presented. I like that. Now this reminds me of two fragrances a lot. But the two fragrances that I'm going to mention are different. These two fragrances are kind of on two different spectrums, if you will. So one side is Ambre Rousse by Parfums d'Empire. That's a very boozy, ambery type of fragrance, and I get part of that in here. There's something about this that kind of reminds me of kind of the heart of Ambre Rousse, and I like that because Ambre Rousse is really good, but sometimes Ambre Rousse is not always wearable. The other side of the spectrum is it reminds me of this right here, John Varvatos Dark Rebel. Again, very different. Dark Rebel goes especially deeper into the kind of coniferous, boozy, and leathery side. But there's parts of it that remind me of that. So in some ways, Clutch reminds me of kind of a niche upgrade to Dark Rebel. And I think it's the best niche version of that. Now, what I think is really interesting about clutch can mean two different things. Clutch can mean the clutch on a car so you can shift gears, but clutch can also mean a type of small purse that a woman can wear to maybe a party or somewhere that she goes. And what I think is interesting about that is that because of that kind of dichotomy of meanings here, this is very unisex. It's not super butch. It's not super feminine. It works great on men and women. Now, I don't think that was his intention when he made the fragrance. I believe that he was trying to make a unisex scent, and I believe that he was trying to name it after a car and have that type of association. But nonetheless, I think that it has kind of that duality here, and it's a really cool name for a really great fragrance. I've actually worn this quite a bit in the last couple of months that I've had this, and I really like how casual it is. I like how it's just kind of spray and go. You can just, it's a dumb reach, as we call it on the channel here, and it's just a wonderful scent that you can wear anytime, I think, in a lot of different seasons for a lot of different applications. It has a great sillage and performance and longevity on it. It lasts a great amount on me. And overall, it's just a really wonderful fragrance. So that's all I have. Definitely check out Clutch and Perfumology if you haven't already. Great store, great person and near guy. And of course, it's a great fragrance. So definitely check out Clutch. I'm gonna have a link down below to Perfumology where you can go and find this. Thanks again for watching. That's all I have. What do you think of Clutch? Have you tried it? Let me know down in the comments. Do you like it, love it, hate it? Let me know. And of course, if you haven't already, please like and subscribe down below. I love you for it. I'll see you next time. I'm Dave with the Fragrance Bros. Bye.